Why don't we take some community questions? We've had a number of community questions coming in. PJ, I've been asking them on Reddit, I believe, and on Twitter as well, yesterday and today. I don't know if do we have any more questions? I think we had quite a few questions, so we're going to put you three guys on the spot and give you a few questions to answer. Many of these questions yesterday were around, how we've enjoyed ourselves in Manila and who we thought we were going to win and that kind of stuff. So we'll see what the community have come up with in just a moment before we head into the next draft. As I said, I'm waiting for a few of the players to come back. I know they've just had a slightly extended break. We saw a couple walking back into the hall just a few minutes ago. Do we have the questions? I'm not sure if we do.
I can ask you something.
Can you? Go on then. You can be the community for us, Black. Oh, no, we're saved.
Mind.
Saved. What kind of play is the meta heading towards with Full Force says? What kind of play is the meta heading towards? Winter, do you want to take that one?
I think the meta is heading towards, I think I mentioned about this before a few times, scaling, being all-rounded. These are the two most important things in this meta.
Okay.
Being all-rounded and scaling. Everyone has to scale.
Okay. So what sort of heroes do you think we might see later on, a month from now? Anything different?
Depends on the patch, and maybe more teams would use Elder Titan. I personally feel like Elder Titan played like a Riki could be really effective if you understand and know how to build a lineup around it. I believe he can be played as the same way.
Okay.
And all those heroes are being banned a lot of the times, and you are looking for other replacements for those type of heroes.
We had a little bit of Elder Titan so far, but not a huge amount. Nothing this week, that's for sure.
I think just one game.
A little bit. I think
just
one
game.
Or two Epicenter maybe.
Oh yeah, Epicenter.
I think one or two.
We saw it a lot in the qualifiers as well.
Yeah, it was sprinkled amongst the teams. As well.
Mainly in the A1 though.
Yes, Shazam picked it a lot.
And they won like all games with it, I think.
Yeah.
And then they got it banned every game.
DC banned the hero every game.
Yeah. After they
lost 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Whilst the players are coming back, we do. We do have at least one more. Are there any teams in the lower bracket you feel are sleeper teams? Jail Wanderer says, are there any teams in the lower bracket you feel are sleeper teams? So we haven't got everyone in the lower bracket just yet, but we saw 4 from yesterday. Were there any there, Charlie? I mean, is Secret now a sleeper team?
No.
Is that how we...
No.
Okay.
No, with the way that they're playing, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Secret fans. I
Sorry, Secret fans.
I tried to get Charlie to be positive about Secret, but he's just not having it this week.
No, I think in the past you've always wanted to believe. You've always seen these players, and they've all been like incredibly clutch when it was necessary. When everything was on the line, you sort of had to believe in these players because they've done it before. They're all LAN winners. Yep. But this one feels so different. It just nothing works, and you instead of your gut telling you, oh, this is like old Secret, your gut is telling you, oh, this is kind of like Cloud9 or something like that. And no, I don't. I think
you don't think they're a sleeper team?
No, I think the end of the road is going to come for them pretty soon.
All right. Black, is there a sleeper team in the bottom bracket?
Well, if any, we have to give it to Wings, right? Like the predictions all put them in top 4 at least.
Yep.
And now they're in the loser bracket in the first round. Like, if anything, it should be them. But even there, I don't know. Like, just the longer the day went on yesterday, the more mistakes they made. So they're literally a sleeper team because I think they were really tired.
Get some more sleep and they've got a better chance in the lower bracket. I like it. It's good strategy. We did say as well, meeting that team in the lower bracket in the best of one in the first round.
It's a nightmare.
Is a scary task, isn't it? Because they could come up with absolutely anything to throw at you.
It is a nightmare. Like, you don't want to face them. Any team but them. And the best of one.
Good news for Secret, they don't have to face them.
Yeah.
They're the only team that are absolutely guaranteed can't face them in the next round. Is that the only... Charlie's sitting there going, yeah, that's not really much.
I don't even think if that's a good
that doesn't really count.
Hey, I've already flamed them enough, and a lot of them are my boys. So, Winter, it's your turn.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn. You want to...
Winter, give me something positive about Team Secret.
Positive about Team Secret. They haven't given up. Okay, that's about it.
Are you sure about that?
They're gonna try and try to adjust. I think definitely during some of the games they switch drafters. I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign that they are trying to switch things up.
Okay, for a question for you two, has that ever been a good sign, switching drafters
probably not
mid-tournament?
It means there's a lot of disarray internally, usually. I mean, I don't know what they talked about or what problems they had, but usually it means there's a lot of problems internally.
Okay, we're going to get into the draft. I've just been told that Evil Geniuses are tied 1-1 with LGD in the other game, so we'll keep abreast of that one. But we are into draft number 3, all tied up in this game as well, and we've seen a Darkseer out for Liquid and Doom Disruptor for Fnatic.
Same bands as always.
Yep.
And
Liquid
Dire,
same opener.
Liquid on Dire again.
Yep.
But this time I didn't ban the Lycan.
And
they
they
pick it
pick
again.
it up.
What do you know?
All right.
Well, Doom Disruptor again is like the 4 same heroes we had in the last game.
Yeah. Anyone want to take any bets if we have the same other 3 on both sides?
I don't think we'll see the same exact hero picks.
I don't think so either.
I think Liquid will opt for something more traditional.
I hope there won't be 4 melee heroes against the Tide.
Hopefully not, like because I don't think they'll go for any greedy jungling
Nah,
heroes.
like we spoke about, right? Like in the 3rd game, they usually shift gears and they will just roll over you. And we'll see if they can do it here.
Like
Okay.
from the 2 series today, we can put a good summary on how Liquid wants to play their game. Like it's mostly when they're up against a strong opponent, an opponent that might upset them, they're going to just go back to the Lycan. You saw the first game against Alliance, they were like, oh, we were pretty confident. We think we got this game, so they didn't even use their Lycan and they almost lost that
Yeah.
game. And then the second game, immediately they picked Lycan.
Yeah.
Tidehunter banned. Maybe they will go back to it. I hope not.
Was it the same bands on Fnatic as well for the previous game? Death Prophet and
Yes.
AA?
Yes.
Exactly the same 4.
So the only change is the Tide.
The Tide ban instead of, what was it?
They pulled. Did they? I want to say bat, but I don't.
Oh, it was Bad Rider. Yeah,
Bad-
it was Bad Rider. Yes. I would actually really like a Bad Rider pickup here.
Bat plus Doom against Lycan.
Yeah,
that is really good. It's
Bat
really
can
good.
also pressure the Lycan.
They will pressure him a lot. Please just don't pick Ember. Like
I think
both games it didn't go well for them.
No.
On the safe lane and against the Darkseer, it's not that good of a pick anyways.
it's not great against the Lycan as well.
Yeah, it is. Like, just pick something else for now.
Yeah, and I think if Fnatic does go with the bat to try and pressure the Lycan with a dual lane
I would like a Lifestealer.
out of Liquid,
No, out of Fnatic.
Fnatic.
Against
Lifestealer
the
and Bad
Darkseer.
Rider.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Lifestealer and Bad Rider would be really good, I think.
Yeah, and the laning phase is good against Darkseer.
Or Gyrocopter.
Yeah, Gyro is also good versus Darkseer.
Yeah, really good.
I also just want to throw this stat out there. Of the 11 matches that Darkseer has played here at the LAN finals at the Manila Major, it's 36% win rate right now
Well, they're good.
How is that only for
on the Darkseer.
only for Darkseer?
Yeah.
But that's not only for Liquid, right? Liquid.
No,
won-
no. It's not just for Liquid.
But
That's Darkseer picks of all games so far across groups A, B, C, and D.
But isn't it funny? Every big tournament, Darkseer
Yeah.
sees so much play again. Like, you see all those online tournaments, he's not picked up that much, but when there's a huge LAN, he always sees so much light and so much play.
Yep. So finally, the Venge. Both games
Yeah.
we've been talking about the
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
They didn't pick the hero.
Well,
And it could have gone either side.
well
actually.
now they're going serious mode. They could have done it last game, but they didn't, right?
So they went funny mode last round.
No, they
game.
were experimental mode.
Oh, experimental mode.
Yeah.
Okay, and now they're going serious
Like,
mode.
like we called out the Venge last game at the same
Yeah, we
spot,
did,
and,
yep.
and now they finally do
yeah,
it.
it might be a pick in anticipation of the Bat Rider.
Right. It's really good for them and really good against what they think Fnatic will do.
Yes,
Mm.
very just versatile all around.
Yeah. Lots of damage, lots of push.
So what do you think Fnatic is going to pick for the offlane?
I think a Puck is also really good. It pairs really well with Gyrocopter against Lycan as well.
Puck with Lycan is all good. Puck-
Against Lycan. Like, Puck doesn't... Like, Lycan doesn't like to play against Puck. If he gets coiled, you have to run out or your
Yeah.
ult will...
So you're almost guaranteed to
Yeah.
get stunned because you don't want to just
Yeah.
play within that small circle.
And mid late game you can get an Aghanim's on Puck and then Lycan is really screwed because he can't do anything about it.
Ooh,
What you can do, I can do. Yeah.
I like this.
This is X plus Doom dual lane
Yeah.
against
Yeah,
Lycan.
against a
But
Lycan.
it should be a core X, right?
It
Yes,
should be. Yeah.
yes.
I think Doom
And
will
then
be
position
played
for Doom.
on position 4. Yeah.
Their safe lane is strong, their off lane is strong.
Oh,
Can we
we
see
actually
a-
never talked about this hero at all.
We have seen Jarex play it a ton though, and his Phoenix is super good. But I kind of lost it off the, like, I lost track of it to be honest.
I think it doesn't actually have that high of a win rate this tournament, does it? I believe it was less than 50%. Somebody mentioned that earlier.
But what about Liquid in particular? I think they did. Well, they only had one Phoenix game so far, right? And they won
Liquid
that.
and OG.
Phoenix has played 14 games so far here at Manila Major, 28.5% win rate.
Yeah, that's not that good at all.
I think Liquid and OG are the teams that use the hero the most previously.
See the DK ban again. Obviously adding to the push power, giving a free disable, and a very stable safe lane.
So I guess Fata is going to play some other core that can scale.
I think this really opens up the puck for Fnatic too, though, because DK is a hard counter to puck.
Yeah.
I don't see a better mid hero for Fnatic right now, because Fnatic will have the first pick, right? So they cannot counter their last hero, so they need something to round the lineup up.
How often do you see Mushi puck though?
No, Fnatic's going to have the last pick. Fnatic's going to have the last pick.
Oh, yeah, they were second
they
pick,
were
right?
second
Yeah,
pick,
they were second pick, right. So maybe we might see something else.
That was pretty good.
What was this?
I'm almost disappointed the camera wasn't on us at that point. That was the best impression we've had so far this
Is
week.
S4 playing on Team Liquid? Is that a mid?
That is a mid Leshrac.
That is a mid Leshrac.
It has been
Okay.
nerfed
Yeah.
a bit, but the new Bloodstone buff is really good for him, and it adds to the push and disable power.
I think it's decent here because typically when alliances try to run it and it's failed, it's because there's always somebody camping the Leshrac mid. Somebody is just running at the Leshrac, making his early game really hard.
Right.
Fnatic so far doesn't really have those heroes to be able to
Queen?
punish.
No. Oh,
Nyx
no.
Assassin.
Okay.
Oh, this is really good versus three of the heroes,
Yeah.
Darkseer, Phoenix, and Lash.
Well, it hard counters Darkseer and Lash with mana burn, right? And just the Phoenix with the
Yeah.
Carapace.
Again, we've seen. I think part of the reason Phoenix has such a bad win rate this tournament is because of the Nyx.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
been counted a couple of times.
All right, well, thank you to all three of you. We're going to get ready as a game is almost about to start and head back to our commentary team for Game 3. Who takes this one and heads to the upper bracket? Let's find out.
Fnatic, we are here with, of course, a huge series. Winner of this series will move up to the upper bracket. Loser of this series will go down to the best of ones. Of course, my name is Mott. With me today is Gods. We'll jump right into it. Here we go.
Fnatic versus Team Liquid.
So a little interesting, the Leshrac pick coming out last. And then the Nyx Assassin to count it up for mid one. I mean, another strange end of the draft, guys. I feel like it's very interesting to me, but what do you think about it?
I think Fnatic showing willingness to adjust mid-series without going too crazy. They put the Nyx on mid one. So this is a player who's been playing the safe lane role. He's been playing Slack. We've seen him on Ember Spirit. But I think what Fnatic recognized in the last two games is mid one has struggled. He had 2 bad games in a row. He wasn't looking comfortable in the safe lane. So they pick him, what was one of his most comfortable mid heroes for a long period of time. A few months back, he was playing this a lot mid against Invokers, against Pucks. It's also, at least as far as the lane stage goes, pretty straightforward. Like, you're just spamming your mana burn, you're getting your farm up, you rush your arcane boots, get your blink dagger, get your aether lens. So this is a much better tempo control to see mid one on.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a far cry from what an Ember Spirit is, which is sit in lane, farm for a bit, maybe come to a few fights early on, but really try to get your bots up as well as your Battle Fury as quickly as possible. I'm definitely a more farm-intensive hero as Ember Spirit, but Nyx Assassin for mid one, I mean, it's a great counter pick, and this is exactly what they were talking about. Spike Carapace against Sunray. You have Mana Burn against the Leshrac as well as the Darkseer, so it counters more than one of these heroes on Liquid's side, but I don't know if Liquid are too concerned about it that much.
Yeah, I mean, if Liquid hit their kind of tempo of game where they're getting a farm Lycan, they're taking towers, getting Roche control, they're not going to be completely thrown off by that fact. Jarek's going sneaky here on the Phoenix. Will go for an early smoke, hoping to catch a courier, I imagine, delivering some kind of salve to the Nyx, but hold on a second. Nyx isn't going mid. Nyx is heading top.
343 is actually going mid right now, and he has an Iron Talon to boot, which is this going to stay the way that it is right now? It looks like it actually might.
Oh, Fnatic have mind gamed them, expecting the Nyx versus the Lesh in mid. Liquid's like, okay, let's change our lanes up. Let's send Lycan mid to avoid that matchup. Lycan beats Nyx 1v1, but Fnatic, they're one step ahead. 343. The old 5-position support play. He got escalated to the 4 position. He's like, okay, that's not enough farm for me. Let's go mid now.
I knew this guy was a good player. I did not know he could play this role, and boy, is he going to work on Matoma Man. He's getting a couple of counter helix procs. Matoma Man cannot walk up into this lane. And he's got Howl, of course. He doesn't have his creeps yet. He doesn't have his wolves, so he can't last hit with those. He's getting pushback at every opportunity. And so this is, like you said, some serious mind games from Fnatic. He's actually giving them a little bit of advantage in the mid lane, but we'll have to see how it affects the other lanes in particular, in my opinion.
Phoenix will swoop his way through the mid lane, unable to find that courier with that level 1 smoke that he went for. And top lane,
aggro dueling. They've already used the Impale coming out. Splitter will hit only onto Ohio. He doesn't have his level 3, so he doesn't actually... I think he missed the Thunderclap there, too, and that's problematic. Ohio's actually in trouble. Will stay alive for the time being. Misses the Impale on Kuroki, and now Fata going toe-to-toe. Ohio will regen back up. He's got one more tango ready, but that should be the end of the engagement. They needed to hit that Shockwave, or that Thunderclap, excuse me, to get that kill. Magic Missile. They're going to turn on mid 1. Splitter comes out as well, but he Spike Carapaces it now. They'll be able to back away. Nicely done coming out from mid 1.
Yeah, with Jarek showing up, it should be a retreat now. Jarek hasn't skilled anything yet, can go for the Sunray or the Icarus dive, but mid 1 still with regen on hand, should be able to hold his own in this lane. And this is very much the laning setup that Fnatic wanted. The offlane Nyx does struggle a bit against this dual lane, but that's where the Doom is going to try and even things up a bit by his presence in that top lane.
Yeah. Although he'll have to regen up. The Satyr Tormentor are pretty good for regen, but he might actually have to go home or deny himself. One of the two.
He wants mana. He's likely going to just go all the way back home or, like you say, suicide. And it looks like he'll just head home, pick up a TP, and go back out to lanes. Mid 1 getting some courier use will bring out a Mango and Tango, so he's ready to fight up top.
I think despite the might games, Liquid are doing pretty well. They have 12 last hits with the Lycan mid, which is tied with the Axe. And then, of course, top lane, you have that Leshrac, and he's doing very well with 12 last hits of his own. So this is so far a pretty good start, I think, for Liquid, all things considered, even with the mind games coming out from Fnatic.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if Lycan starts struggling later on, he can always swing back and head towards the jungle if he wants to. So it seems that he's aware of this rotation from DJ, or at least privy to the fact that Disruptor has gone missing off of that bottom lane, and the smoke from DJ mid will not be successful.
Not only is the Lycan playing back, you can see Fata as well as the rest of them sort of playing under the tower for now. They don't know where DJ is, and DJ not going to be fruitful in finding that gank mid. But Ohio is back up top. He will be against a tri lane. They even used the scan. Liquid throwing at the scan early, beautifully done to actually see that there's somebody over here. They thought it might be DJ, but it's actually just Ohio. Now the call mid, Matuma Man going to get caught. The Wolves are there as well. Counter Helix doing a lot of damage, but only 1 proc. It is level 2. It will do a lot of damage, but it's just not enough. Nor does he have the chop. And down bottom, Mind Control barely surviving against Mushi. They talked about it in the panel. They talked about how good Gyrocopter is against the Darkseer, and not quite the start that Mind Control wanted to have so far in this game, at least not the CS that he's looking for.
I think the big thing with putting Mushi bottom of the Gyrocopter is that they recognize Mind Control has been a problem player this series in the early game, and Mushi said, okay, I'm going to put myself and put it on myself to go up against this pesky Mind Control Darkseer who keeps on wrecking us in this bottom lane. And we can see there, Mushi almost getting the kill already. Mushi kind of just maybe the more mechanically confident player in an intense situation. Mid 1, I'd say mechanically typically stronger than Mushi in the current day and age. This isn't the Mushi of 2013 where he's on RNG Sports, but in a pressure situation, Mushi's more likely to deliver than mid 1.
Splitter dodged swiftly by mid 1, just sidestepping it, making sure he gets out. The Edict not doing any damage in Ohio. We'll bring around a creep wave, actually, so more farm coming out for Fnatic as well. Mid 1 having an okay offlane, 7 last hits. He's not the easiest hero to get last hits with, especially in a tri-lane situation where Dirax and Kuroki are both here to back up Fata. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but he's doing okay for now.
See there, Leshrac not a hero that Fata exactly that comfortable on. Hasn't played too much. Or back to Cloud9 did a bit. Ohio at top.
He's going to pop the Scorch Drift, though. He's still very tanky, and like I said, they have the Shockwave. The Icarus Dive will come through. The Infernal Blade coming out. They've rotated DJ. They get the Impale off, and there's the first blood from Ohio with the Shockwave, the Hadouken, if you will. Gets the job done. They're looking for more. Kuroki's going to be able to TP out, so they won't find 2. But already DJ rotates, and this is what they was looking for mid. He'll find it top instead.
It's just crazy to think in a Game 3 decider to see who's going guaranteed to win this group through to the winner bracket. We're seeing a Fata safe lane Leshrac. We're seeing an off lane Nyx out of mid 1. We're seeing a 3-4-3 mid Axe. This is teams really digging deep to react and draft differently.
I mean, it's working for Fnatic for now. Matuma Man also playing the mid, in which I think someone in the panel stated that they didn't like running it mid. I think it was during the interview that he had recently. Yes. So maybe not comfortable with that either. They're forced into a position when they actually really aren't. They didn't know that the Axe was going to be there, but Magic Missile in Ohio. They have the Wolves nearby, doing some nice right clicks. There's the Shapeshift coming out in Ohio. Might be in some trouble. Scorched Earth is going and regenning him back up. They have the body blocks. 343 is here to help out the Sunray. Good call. Matuma Man will take the counter Helix procs, but not enough again to get that shot for 343, as he does have that level 6 Magic Missile, but it's a tanky axe. He's got the Satyr Tormentor Aura. He has a Ring of Regen, not to mention a Tango that he can use as well. So he'll be able to heal back up just fine. And they rotate a couple heroes. They can't find a kill on either of these tanky strength heroes.
Oh, Jax needs to be careful. He has no dive.
Not for 12 seconds. Kinetic Field. There's the Thunderclap. They'll pick up the Arcane Rune for 343. They have the chop ready to go. Don't even need it. It's the Shockwave from Ohio, again getting the job done once more.
It's so strange seeing Ohio roaming around on Doom. Normally just like the stable, sit in your offlane universe type of offlane player. DJ, I mean, this is really like the old DJ where he roams around, is very active on the map, and I think this is, again, goes back to Mushi just being much more confident. He's probably just told DJ, go do what you go best, which is roam around the map. I'm going to take the solo lane. He throws a cooldown here, doesn't even come close in the kill, but again, it's just farm secured. It's not really a cooldown that he's too dependent on.
It's about asserting your dominance for Mushi. That's what it is right now.
He can fall back, pull a few camps or not. He's going to TP himself home. I like this play from Mushi. Get your mana back up, and then you can actually go for a gank on the lane. This frees up the safe lane for DJ to now get level 6 on Disruptor. Mushi ready to get active once more.
We saw how important the level 6 was for DJ as well in the last game on that Disruptor Static Store. More often than not, not only, I think, helping them with the fight, but winning them the fight in a couple of situations, on top of the Ravage coming out from Ohio as well. So a good start for Fnatic. Liquid shouldn't be too concerned, though. They have the top in net worth with the Matuma Man, so despite him going up against the Axebait, he's still doing just fine. The Lesh goes down once in the top lane, but they've rotated things around, and so Fat's is starting to get his farm elsewhere, which is mid. They've swapped things up, and they've sort of stopped the bleeding for Liquid at this point.
Yeah, it feels like more standard lanes now, seeing the Axe in the off lane. Mid one. Back mid. Mid one's following this Leshak around. They may be able to get a glimpse kill. No, 2 points of Thunderstrike.
But Earth, you wanted to go into DJ here. I'm not sure that's the play. My mid one's going through the spike hair pace. He's got Vendetta, he's got Impale, but he's taking a lot of damage now coming up with the Pulse Nova. Has to pop the Vendetta, but they have the damage coming through, and Fata gets it done. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Mind Control getting caught with the Rocket Barrage. Another one's ready to call down. Is going to hit. It should be in time, but can he get there for the Rocket Barrage before the Surge is up? Walls drop down. They're going to chase him up and into the tree line. It's going to be Ohio getting the kill coming through with this Scorched Earth. Nicely done. It'll be a 1-for-1 exchange across the map. Both offloaders going down, but it might not be done yet. Icarus dive, Sunray, 343 takes his damage. Magic Missile, Wave of Tear. This should be more than enough. The TP will not be successful for 343. The counter helixes will get him a couple of last hits in the process, but he does fall, and Liquid get 2 instead of the 1 that Fnatic got.
Yeah, good couple of kills. The Nyx kill, the mistake out of Fnatic getting aggressive there. They only had the 1 point in Glimpse at the time. Although Leshak, I think expecting it to be a level 1 Thunderstrike with 2 points in Glimpse, turned it forward, and it turns out fighting with the raindrops, he had plenty of survivability to actually hold his own there. And get a Nyx kill, a very important Nyx kill at that. Mid one will be set back a little bit. He does have his levels, but farm-wise, just sitting on the Arcane Boots for now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You don't put him in the mid lane, you put him in the off lane. Sure, you get a couple of kills and assists. He only has 1, and he only has 27 CS2, so he's a little bit behind in that regard. But he will be able to be impactful with the Vendetta. If they decide to start going as 5, they can maybe find some kills, especially on these squishier targets like Jerax, maybe even Fata as well.
The good news for him is that his teammates are farming while getting their items. Like 3 of his actual, like, we've got a jungling Doom who's sitting on 2.7k net worth. Axe and Gyro both with good farms. So across the board, it's looking really good for Fnatic, who effectively have 4 heroes getting decent farm. Liquid, as kind of per usual with them, they've got these 2 kind of selfless supports who are backing up their cores, and this is often when you're running a Lycan strat, you can't even try and get farm on one of your supports because the Lycan is a fairly weak laning hero. You need to help your lanes out.
Yeah, and they could have used some of that help with Mind Control. He might get one of these other kills with the Iron Shell that we saw last game, but it's actually going to be him getting into the tree line. They'll be able to push the Wolves back, right-click him down. Mind Control kind of needed that kill. You look at where he is positioned in the net worth. It's not great. That death earlier certainly hurt him a lot, not to mention the fact that his laning phase has not been super great.
Well, mid one wants this Jerax kill. Not an easy one to get with the tower vision.
Meanwhile, Ohio will find the kill onto... actually, Ohio goes down. It's going to be the Vengeful Spear and Fata rotating mid. I think Ohio was just trying to get levels in the mid lane. He actually falls, but Jerax is so close to that threshold. Mid one wants to go for the Impale, but he's further into the tree line. 343 says, screw it, I'm going to dive under the tower. The Icarus dive comes out from Jerax. Is there any TP to the tier 1 from Fnatic to stop him from getting away? There's a TP available for Jerax. He should be able to get out just fine. There's a skirmish down bottom happening, and it looks like Mushi's going to go down at the end. Dead for 32, and he just sunrays over the cliff and just gets out in time.
Okay.
Interesting place from Jarex. That
And
works, I
We're
guess.
watching this Phoenix who looks like he's totally screwed. He's surrounded by 2 heroes, and turns out it's Jarex. He knows how to get out of there, but Fnatic ready to defend their tier 1 bottom.
Oh, Mind Control gets doomed up. They drop the wall for that kill onto Mamushi, by the way. And here comes the Impale, hitting only onto 1, but the Static Storm kinetic field. Can they get the glimpse back in Mind Control? Do they need it? Matamba Man falling low as well, but not dead yet. They need a call. They need a chopper. They need something. They've gotten that kill on Mind Control, but it's still a 1-for-1 engage. They finally bring down that Lyca, but mid-1 in trouble. No more Spike Carapace. He's going to turn with the Impale. He'll stay alive. They've got call with 3-4-3. He'll pop it off. Counter Helix procs 1. Can he get another coming through? Chop should be available. Kuroki will try to TP out. They won't be able to get the job done without the Infernal Blade, and they get the kill with it. 3 down for Liquid. They need the Infernal Blade to stop the TP and get the kill, but Ohio coming up big yet again.
Yeah, unfortunately for mid-1, he could have escaped, but he tried to. He lingered around and didn't take consideration of the summon wolves, which ended up getting the kill onto him with his like 40-50 HP that he survived on. But either way, Fnatic going to be very pleased with how that fight down bottom panned out. Jarex will get scouted out by a courier, it looks like here, and that means that Fnatic will prevent his warding mission from happening. Very important to get some deep wards around that top jungle area of the Fnatic side of the map. And I mean, a very effective game out of Fata's Leshrac. I felt like, given the start he had, it wasn't going to be so easy for him, but he's managed to get a lot out of his rotation.
3-4-3 is alone, and he has dived past the tier 1 tower. Yeah. He went way too deep. Sunray comes out. The Ion Shell will take him down. That was just... He had no backup whatsoever. The closest person was Mushi in the jungle. He's just farming.
I imagine Mushi will have some stern words about that one. Like, not so much, not getting angry at him, but like, come on, guys. It's game 3 decided here. Let's settle down.
That's a free
Play
kill
conservative more than anything. I think Fnatic probably feel like with their draft again, they've got this strong team fight. They want to play around.
Static Storm hits onto Kuroki, gets out. The kinetic field now done. Mind Control chasing him down with the Ion Shell. Wall is up. Only level 1 vacuum still. On the other side, Mushi's getting chased down by the shape-shifted Matamba Man. He might be in trouble here. There's a couple of other heroes coming in from Liquid to try to get this kill. He's going to have to dive this tower, but the Rocket Barrage dissuades him immediately. And mid-1 just a second off with that Impale. But here comes Ohio. They drop the sentry down. Now the Supernova comes out, and Fata's going to be here to help with Matamba Man. The rest of the Liquid crew are ready to go. They've got their ultimates. Supernova will go off. Will they try to re-engage? Mid-1, he's got that Vendetta. They're going to pop the call down. Fata, Spike Carapace, he's going to get caught with the Impale. Vacuum into the wall, but it's only mid-1, the kinetic field coming out. The Doom is going to be on him. Matamba Man, Kuroki's going to be next with the Infernal Blade. Call comes through from 3-4-3. Splurf comes out. They bought back on Fata. They're back into the fray, but Kuroki about to fall. Mushi comes in with a Rocket Barrage. Everyone is solo on Fnatic with the exception of that Doom. They will get pushed back. The buyback yields nothing for Liquid and Fata, and Fnatic will back away happy with that engagement.
Yeah, such a very aggressive buyback from Fata, and I like the kind of decision there, but Liquid just didn't have a good way to force the fight. They haven't got an initiator, and that's one of the big weaknesses of their draft. The Venge swap is like an initiation coming from your supports, but it's not like you've got the Glimpse, which is much more reliable, long-range initiation where you don't commit your hero. The Nyx with an Impale, an Axe with a Berserker's Call. Liquid just don't have that great way to force the fight, and when you're buying back by a tower, you need to have a way to either catch your opponents or chase after them. That's just something that Liquid lacked, especially considering the shapeshift had already been used out of the Lycan.
Still nowhere near a Blink Dagger for Mind Control, I would imagine. He is caught up pretty damn well. He's sitting at 3.9k net worth. He was one of the lower ones, I think, at the beginning stages of this game in terms of net worth, but he's up there in top 3 right now, so Mind Control looking to take over the game yet again, but Fnatic, they've had some good fights. They're doing pretty well for themselves. Sure, they don't have the top in net worth. That belongs to Matamba Man, but everything seems to be going okay for them right now.
Yeah, they may look to, teamfight around the Glimpse and the pickoffs, but they really want to start working towards the Blink Dagger on Axe, and even potentially the Blink Dagger on Nyx Assassin, because right now they're playing without those initiation tools, so if they want to teamfight, they need to make sure they have a numbers advantage, because they don't have a reliable way to get that starting pickoff. Perhaps the Nyx Vendetta, I mean, the big problem for Liquid is their supports are both so poor that continuing to buy Sentry Wards is a big ask of them.
Yeah, they have like 1 sentry down mid, I believe, and that's about it. There's not much vision for them. They should have a couple of sentries on them, I think, at this point in time, but nothing else. You could see the Venge doesn't have anything, neither does Phoenix. They're going to go for this. They're looking to glimpse back, and they will find the Static Storm. Jirax can't get off with the Icarus dive in time, and there comes the chop right down, splitting the head. 3-4-3 gets the kill, and that should put him up to a decent amount of money on top of the fact that he, I think, already has a Vanguard.
He's just the casual bit booster for now,
okay.
yeah. I think buying the Vanguard is going to slow down the Blink Dagger too much, so just holding out on that pickup. Here comes mid-1, up top, the Vendetta initiation. Mind Control gets Carapace.
Yeah, the Iron Shell is there, the Vendetta, the Impale, the Mana Burn, and Ohio comes in with the Infernal Blade, brings him down. That's a huge pickup for mid one.
Fnatic are just moving around the map really well, following the laning stage. They're not overcommitting resources anywhere. They bring 4 or 5 heroes when they need to towards bottom fight because it's a faster buyback. It was a full-out Liquid commitment to that one, but then now they realize mid, okay, we're going to get this tower regardless. Let's set up for the kill at top. They TP one to the tier 2, the Nyx who's the initiator, then they TP onto the tier 1 as he gets there while leaving the 3 heroes to secure the tower. They're just really just being as efficient as possible here and putting Liquid a bit on the back foot. But
oh, they should see this. Fnatic have great vision around the Rosh Pit. They know Liquid are in here. Wave of Tear, they have Edict, they have Matuma Man on the Lifestealer. This can drop quickly, but Fnatic can fight this. They have Doom. They're going to have Vendetta soon. They have Call. No Blink just yet, I don't believe, for the Axe. They really want to fight this, though.
Mid one can't get there. His TP's on cooldown, so it's not easy to get here in time.
Liquid don't want to commit to this just yet. They have vision of their own. They know that something's coming. There's going to be the Shapeshift coming out from Matuma Man. They really want to get away, or at least they're thinking about it.
That's a big cooldown to throw around and make it very obvious to Fnatic what's happened. So
they're going to smoke. This might give enough time for Matuma Man to get the blink. He's not quite there yet. Bot is going to be the first contact here. Maybe Kuroki, surge up forward. That'll be under the bench. They're looking for a swap, and that'd be a great addition onto DJ. Swap only a meter ahead of him, but now Kuroki gets glimpsed back. Static Storm wasted. DJ still taking a lot of damage. And that should be the end of the engagement. That was a strange initiation.
Yeah, Kuro thanks him for the glimpse that saves his life there. It was actually a great Static Storm because it meant Liquid couldn't follow up the Venge because their follow-up is all melee range for the most part, so you'd have to engage into the Static Storm. But from mid Static Storm on cooldown now, they go back into the Roach Pit.
There's a blink up on 343. The Axe has got the blink call. They need to get this. They need to contest this. The scan will come out from the Dire team. Roche is about to fall. Even still, if they get this Aegis and they get out in time, it's going to be fine. The cooldown's at top of the Doom comes out into Fata. Rocket Barrage coming through. Mushi doing some damage. Great Supernova, but still, back wall is going to do some work. Everybody tanking. They pop the mech. Fnatic going to work. Impale up into Matuma Man. He's getting low. The Aegis will go down. Do they have the damage here? 343 is low. Magic Missile. He's about to fall. They've only gotten the Aegis for Liquid, and Fnatic have to back. Mushi and Ohio solo. The Sunray not able to kill either of these heroes just yet. They'll be able to get up into the enemy jungle. Kinetic Field for DJ to cover their retreat, and Liquid will be happy with that. They get the Roche. They get one kill, and they might even get more here.
That looked like Fnatic were about to get team wiped there, but here comes mid one with a blink dagger.
Vendetta's going to go Impale, not there yet. Magic Missile, they missed the Impale, but still they should get this kill. Ohio, though, Split Earth, no, it's the Lightning Storm. Not doing enough damage. DJ and Ohio both solo. The Sunray should bring down the Disruptor. He's going to stick up, but won't be able to stay alive. And Matuma Man shapeshifted again, looking for more carnage, but Fnatic have backed away. They could have gotten out there with DJ, but he stayed a bit too long.
Fighting into that Aegis Leshrac, man, that took some guts from Fnatic, but the glimpses are keeping the Leshrac out of the fight. They threw a lot of spells onto him, the Doom as well as the glimpse, but it meant that Leshrac wasn't dealing damage initially in the fight, and Fnatic unfortunately just didn't have the tools to take out any more than the Leshrac in that initial engagement, but it's Liquid who, without Shapeshift, didn't have any chase or catch of their own, and I think that's going to be an ongoing problem for Liquid's draft. They're farming well, they're ahead by a very tiny margin, but securing kills, getting pickoffs, starting fights is not what their draft really excels at.
It's really going to be a Blink Vacuum or a swap from the Vengeful Spirit. That's pretty much all they have at this point to get things going. And speaking of Blinks, they get one for the Nyx Assassin too on Fnatic's side. So there are a lot of items coming up from Fnatic, but Liquid are still in a very good spot, especially after that last engagement. Mid one, I think there might be a Sentry. He walked through it. The dust is going to come. He's going to blink, though, avoid the stone or Wave of Terror, but the Icarus dive a little bit too late coming up from Jarex. And that's going to be it.
Yeah, you need it. Unfortunately for Kuro, you've got to dust him first, and then as soon as you know where he is, you wave a Terror to cancel the blink. But mid one was very quick on his feet there.
I mean, that's a dangerous spot to be in. You have to be.
I think he recognized that they were kind of tracking him. Yeah. They'd perhaps seen him, so he was just trying to get that intel for his team. And Fnatic go aggressive immediately off of this.
They're sending heroes in different directions. Axe went the long way around. He's going to meet back up with his team, but I think some miscommunication there. They're still going to walk up high ground. Kuroki, as well as Fata, might be spotted. They'll drop some vision down, but Kuroki and crew, they know this is happening. I don't think they even used a scan.
This is great retreat from Liquid here in the bottom lane.
We've seen Fnatic dive this.
Yeah.
We saw this exactly, I think, in game 2 or 1.
Yeah, Tier 1 tower was up, and they dived the Tier 2 tower to win a fight.
Yep.
That was when they killed Kuro's AA.
Liquid know, like, they've made this play before. They're going to be very cautious walking forward. The swap in, Ohio in trouble. Magic Missile will stun him up. He's still got that Doom. Back wall comes out. Ohio in trouble. They won't be able to save him. The Kinetic Field, Static Storm not there. DJ getting chased down by Matuma Man. A couple more right clicks. Gets the double kill. Dominating spree goes right to the Ancients. He says, thank you very much. Let me continue to farm. We're getting back in it.
That's a great initiation. Couldn't even get the mech off. If he doesn't get blown up there, gets the mech off, turns and dooms someone, perhaps Fnatic have a fighting chance, but...
Oh, 3-4-3, stay too long again, this time close to the tier 2 tower. Magic Missile into the split earth from Fata, and they find themselves another freebie. Fnatic making a couple of positional errors here.
And importantly, this is off of Leshrac having a Bloodstone, so already up to 15 charges on Fata's Bloodstone now, and Liquid starting to find some momentum, and this is really the stage of the game where the Lycan push gets very scary and strong. Necro 3 already completed. Fata with the 15 charges on his Bloodstone.
Call down, blink, stun, only hitting onto 2. Great Static Storm, Fata in trouble, will fall. Doom's up into Mind Control, can't get off his mech. He's going to get glimpsed back as well. Pretty low to the Rocket Barrage. A couple more right clicks will do the job. They're going to turn their attention to Kuroky, knowing that Mind Control will probably go down. They will deny him in the end, but still, Kuroky will fall yet again, as of course, Fata has respawned from that Bloodstone, but still, he did die in that engagement.
Yeah, and the fast respawn is kind of wasted. You want to have that fast respawn in a fight that's like an even trade-off, but that was just a straight-up Fnatic obliteration. They get such a good jump. I mean, their team fight with the blinks on Nyx with the Static Storm and cooldown follow-up is incredibly scary, and that's something where Leshrac on the front lines doesn't have the best defensive support sitting behind him. There's a mech as well as a Sunray, but the instant heal from the mech doesn't out-heal the damage output of Fnatic. They burst him down.
And they can't even get the mech off because he gets doomed half the time.
That's the other big thing Fnatic have recognized, that Doom in the Dark Seer is a great way to... You don't even have to kill him right away. Just focus the Leshrac and then worry about the Dark Seer later.
This game is getting pretty dicey for both squads. Back and forth action. One team fight goes one way, another goes the other. You look at the net worth graph, it's literally all over the place. Back and forth we go in this particular matchup. Roche is back up in 5 minutes and 50 seconds, but Liquid, they don't want to wait. They want to continue to push. They want to get this outer tower, one of the last. There's the one top and the one in the mid lane. Kuroky's going to find DJ. No swap, it's only level 1, not quite the range for it. Kinetic Field blink further. They're looking for the Impale. Comes back at a Kuroky. They have to pop the Shapeshift, swap out to make sure he gets away. They drop the Supernova on top of it all, and DJ will fall instantly. Mid one's going to get chased down as well. They have the Necro 3, they have the Dust Up, and mid one will fall next. But Tumbo finds yet another double kill. Back and forth we go in 3-4-3. He thought about going in, blinks back. He's like, I don't want any part of that engagement.
Kuro just playing that ballsy frontline. He goes in, gets vision for his team, and when he gets glimpsed back, he swaps the Nyx to get himself out of the bad position.
Yeah.
And just manages to get himself back to safety. And the important thing is that Fnatic weren't able to get that jump onto Fata's Leshrac, which was what kind of set them up for success previously.
They really want this tier 1 tower, and they're going to be able to get it. They won't go any further, though. They're happy with that. They'll try to TP away. Fata will make it out.
The retreat.
Ohio doesn't have a blink. If they have a glimpse or anything, they'd have to use it to get the TP canceled. But there's no blink Infernal Blade coming out for Ohio, not yet anyway. This is just, it's battling back and forth. The kill score 13-14 at 23 minutes in. It's not the most exciting game, but it's also definitely not the worst. This is a lot of fun to watch, a lot of action back and forth, gods.
Yeah. And it's a slight Liquid gold lead, but they've got the kind of draft that needs to be playing from ahead. The Lycan does not want to be kind of even with the opposing team's carries. You've got great disables. He's not going to scale as well to the late game as the Fnatic draft, I feel. And for Liquid, they want to be the ones controlling the tempo, taking towers, securing Roche. Letting the game, being in a position where they either have a really sizable lead by the next Roche Aegis pickup, or they're actually even breaching high ground. So Fnatic can keep taking these decent team fights from time to time. I think their lineup will start looking good as they head towards late game.
Yeah, you can see the SNY coming out for the Gyrocopter. So you saw the Helm of the Dom build for the Gyro. He was taking stacks. You can see Batuma Man doing the same now with the help of Fata. But the Gyrocopter's starting to get to that point where he's dishing out the right clicks. He's got the main procs with the SNY, and his team all together is farmed pretty well. I mean, the only one that's down there is going to be DJ on the Disruptor. He's kind of playing the hard 6 in this game, I think.
And we saw it last game. Mushi will suddenly find an amazing amount of farm in the mid game, even if he starts off a little bit slower than his counterpart on the other team. Although this hasn't been as slow as a game as his Medusa, but he'll suddenly turn, flip a switch, win a fight, stack a bunch of Ancients, and suddenly you've got yourself a 6-slot Gyrocopter 35-40 minutes into the game.
Not to put anything past Batuma Man, though. He has played Lycan immaculately throughout this tournament so far, and he has another good game going for him right now. Still top of the net worth by about 1,000 ahead of the Gyrocopter. And they're smoked up looking for a fight. Instead, they'll find a stack for Jerax and Kuroky to take, which is not bad, but they wanted to kill more than anything in the world. Unsuccessful in doing so. And then it looks like Fnatic will just group bottom together.
Yeah, and Fnatic's big thing is just sticking together as a 5-man unit. Being in like, during daytime, they have much better capability to take a fight because it's going to be a lot easier for them to get vision of these heroes. And realizing where Liquid are on the map, they've pretty much got a guaranteed tier 1 tower here at bottom.
I like the gem pickup, though, coming out for Liquid. They needed to get the next assassin. They get it pretty early, too, at 25 minutes in. So if Jerax is anywhere near, or whoever's carrying the gem is anywhere near him, he's going to have to be very careful. Not to mention the Necro 3 available for the Lycan, too. So there's a lot of vision here that Liquid were kind of lacking earlier on in the game with the sentries.
And they get a big boost to their team fight now. The blink on Darkseer solves a lot of the problems they're having that I was talking about, where initiating starting fights is not always the easiest for them. A smoke from the low ground, though.
This is tough.
Liquid may find themselves in the perfect position to take this fight.
This is a very bad angle for Fnatic, and
Yeah,
Liquid they're licking their chops right now. But, Fnatic, wrap around. Their smoke has yet to break.
They see them, but they can't engage from low ground to high ground.
And that's a Radiant scan. That's a huge one. Oh, wow.
But the problem is you know where they are, but you also know you can't initiate
You can't
on
walk
them.
up there.
Because they're going to see you from the high ground. They're going to have a positioning advantage, and there's a tier 2 tower in mid. So now they're just going to sit and wait.
Oh, are Liquid going to be the ones to walk into Fnatic?
Oh,
the smoke is broken on Ohio. They've got vision. They're going to back up now. The shapeshift Kuroki is looking for the swap out. He's going to find it on Ohio pretty soon. DJ's on the high ground. They will see everyone walk by. Can they catch anyone? Vacuum back, swap in onto Ohio. He's in trouble. He will fall almost instantly. The right clicks from Matama Man. The edict, the ultimate coming out from the Leshrac as well was more than enough to melt him down instantly.
Yeah. Not too devastating for Fnatic. I think they recognize as soon as the smoke pops and the Wolves scout them out, they're like, okay, we need to cut our losses, but that losses also include losing this Ancient stack potentially. As Matama Man swoops in to steal this one, but just a Doom, not the end of the world. The Ancient stacks definitely hurt Mushi and his farm progression a little bit, but that fight looked like it could have gone a whole... If Fnatic engage and take that fight, they would have been in a
They're still
terrible
here. Static Storm comes out. Fata actually avoids it. I think he saw
That
mid one on the high ground.
sidestep?
That was... I can't believe that just happened. Okay, mid one is still being chased down. He has blink and force, vacuum back. He's going to have to force himself away to get out of this. Iron Shell from Mind Control. His blink should be up, and he actually will just blink instead into the tree line and TP out, and he should make it away. But
I think Fata just like changed his mind and like was like, oh, I'm gonna go up this ramp. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna get. I don't know if he expects him to be there or not, but that was some insane.
I don't know why he
like
just
either complete blind luck with his his movement, or perhaps like actually next level predicting them to be there and sidestepping out of the kinetic field.
it's like a misclick or something, and he just sidesteps. He's like, oh, that's a Static Storm. All right, don't walk up there. Okay, got it. That's strange.
That was some fast fingers from him, perhaps, as Roshan will be respawning. A max respawn timer for Liquid. And this has given Fnatic ample time to get in position to contest this one. Very hard to fight around this area, as we've seen in the past. The Supernova, very easy to get off when you're around this Roche pit. You can do it on the cliff. And Fnatic's draft is just already, we've seen time and time again, they can't really kill the Supernova. Mushi's the only real hero on this team who can bring it down, but he will have a BKB for this fight. As will Fata on Lesh if he can get some last hits on these Ancients. And you've got to leave those for Fata. He's got the BKB, so both teams will have that. Perhaps slightly more advantageous for Liquid having that. Like, they're the ones who are already with a slight teamfight edge, so having a BKB on their big damage dealer in Lesh.
By the way, Ohio has the ice armor creep, Yoga Frost Mage. So he's just been throwing ice armor all over his team, giving him whatever he can. Which I don't think is a bad idea. I mean, you look at Matumba Man and his right click. Sure, there's a lot of magic damage from Liquid, but still. Hold that thought. They have the blink initiation ready to go, and everyone was kind of in the pit. Liquid see this coming, though. Blink call. No, it's going to be the Impale, and it misses. Matumba Man gets the shapeshift off. The Spike Carapace will go force back. Mushi, he's got the call down, but now the Necros have been popped, and Fnatic do not want to fight into this. Mushi gets swapped back, has to pop the BKB, and everyone from Liquid backing away. DJ still might die to the creeps, and it looks like he will. He's going to get solo, finally goes down. No buyback. The Doom is up on Matumba Man. The shapeshift is still going to get him speedily away. He'll take the rocket, but it won't bring him down. They won't even need to deny him. So with a couple of abilities on cooldown, or at least the Doom and, of course, the Dead Disruptor, I don't know if you could test this as Fnatic.
Yeah, Liquid have the BKB advantage on the Leshrac. They may be missing Shapeshift, but they have got a big teamfight edge here, unless mid one can get a good initiation. But there's a gem.
And he's actually running away from this squad. He's vendetted up still. Kuroki going to town with the Magic Missile Ohio. No Doom, as we talked about. There's going to be another rocket to do some damage, but nothing much. Just stop him in his tracks. Call down, trying to push them back. Icarus dive forward. Supernova not going off. Good net coming up for Fnatic to keep them tanky. Mind Control should still have his. Fata pops the BKB, and Pale misses. Perfectly timed for Fata to go for that BKB, and they will back together as a team. A lot of footsie being played, but there it comes back. The Supernova gets off perfectly timed. He's still in a bad position, but they might counter-engage here with Liquid ready to go. Impaled's going to come out. Mana Bird comes through as well. Static Storm on top of it. Kinetic Fuel isn't there. Swap out from Kuroki. Beautifully done. Rocket Barrage not doing enough damage. This creep is actually taking a lot of it. Back wall onto 3. You'll lose the Nyx Assassin almost instantly. Ohio will fall next. Gets off the Infernal Blade, but the Pulse Nova and Edict going to work. Fatsa would bring him down with that Lightning Storm. 2 dead for Fnatic. Great back wall for Mind Control yet again.
Doesn't look to be done just yet. DJ on the run from a Lycan.
Not again. He's just died to creeps. He doesn't want to die again.
Please, no, have mercy.
He's going to get out. Ooh.
These team fights so back and forth. Like, all the small little things, like the Phoenix having to use the Supernova to dodge the Glimpse. It feels like such a game of cat and mouse where one team decides, okay, it's our turn to get a little bit aggressive, and the other team reacts with perfect defensive play. You've got the Impaled dodge with the BKB from Fata, and then as soon as he pops a BKB, Fnatic, they force stuff away, they disengage. Both teams are so good at disengaging from bad fights and then re-engaging at a favorable time. And then the other team does the exact same thing. So it's such a back and forth game until finally, it took like 2 minutes for Mind Control in that fight to see an opportunity to get the vacuum wall. But once he found it, he manages to win Liquid the engagement, even just ever so slightly. But off of that, they get Roshan, they maintain control, and they're going to continue to, I imagine, apply pressure onto the side of Fnatic.
Fnatic have been playing as 5. They've been looking for a lot of smoke and deceit ganks. Now that Liquid have this advantage with the Aegis, they have probably 5 minutes of whatever they want to do, whether that's pushing, whether that's farming more on Fata or Matamba Man. They are in a good spot now. Fnatic are starting to dwindle behind a little bit. Mushi's farm, he had that ancient stack taken by Matamba Man. I think that was a huge blow to him. He was forced to use his BKB, his 10-second charge, when he didn't want to. And that's probably one of the reasons why the engagement didn't go so well either.
Yeah. Similarly, Lesh down to 9 seconds already, but has the Aegis on top of the BKB now. Will be 1 minute already of the 5-minute Aegis duration used by Liquid, but they are positioning, looking to group up a little bit here. See what their move is going to be. There's still T2 towers in side lanes, even a T1 tower up top standing.
There's still a lot to be done in this game. I don't expect this game to end swiftly unless somehow Liquid just barrel down mid after a fight.
Yeah, Ohio's very close to having a completed pipe, which means you'll have the damage, physical damage block coming out from the ice armor. You have a pipe and mech to help deal with the Leshrac damage. Like, having both pipe and mech against Fata's Lesh is going to make it a lot harder for him to dish out damage in the team fight. They're going to be very reliant on the Darkseer Phoenix AoE wombo combo to set things up.
Fata has the Aegis still, so he's not really that concerned.
Level 4 mana burn says hello.
Yeah, it does
in a very polite way.
That is not fun as a Leshrac to deal with that. But
for 3, I don't know if you want to farm this top lane.
yeah, neither does mid one. He was just trying to get vision, I think, and he's been split earth. He's going to have to spike hair pace. He's got Vendetta. Magic Missile will come out. The Necro units are going to chase him down and just destroy him. The Necro Archer coming in.
And that's the kind of mistake that'll turn 1 tower quickly into 2. Fnatic, they have to get ready for a high ground defense, actually. This is 45 seconds without Nixon. Very reminiscent of the Game 1, Game 2 play out of mid 1, just getting caught off here or there. He's been very stable for the most part this game, but suddenly he's put his team in a terrible position.
No buyback. Down for 33 seconds. Liquid will go up to the high ground. Their Necro unit's still up for a couple of seconds. They devour the Necro Warrior, but he gets swapped back. Split Earth and Ohio will fall. That's another domino that will go in Liquid's favor as they push the Tier 3 tower. The Edict destroying it, chewing through it like butter. Matamba Man, he's going to go to work. He's going to right-click and slap these buildings down as best as possible, and he does it so fast with the Howl coming out. The Assault Cuirass certainly helps on top of it. They just take a full set of racks just like that, guys. And Liquid are on the doorstep of maybe taking this game number 3.
Yeah, it was such a back-and-forth game until suddenly one pickoff turns into 2 and Liquid are on your high ground. This is the kind of team you can't afford to make those mistakes against, and Liquid is so good at punishing. Lycan as a hero, one of the best heroes in the game to punish mistakes with, and it's going to be a full lane of racks, putting Fnatic very much in dire straits.
And I feel as if this 3-4-3 axe, he played well in the mid lane. The first 10 minutes of the game, I think he did a great job, but he has not found that 2-man or even 3-man call that you want to find as an axe. You know, the big team fights have just not been there.
I mean, just look at his kill involvement. It's actually, like, you kind of ask, like, where has he been in these fights? He's 3, 4, and 2 on axe. He's been in 5 of the 14 kills. This feels like a game where most of Fnatic kills have come from team fights, but why isn't the axe been in them, helping secure these kills? It's been much more the Nyx Assassin, the DJ Disruptor. The Ohio Doom has been in 13 of 14, so 3-4-3 has just not been active enough in this game, and the axe pick has not really added enough to Fnatic's Fnatic's draft. He's meant to be the hero that helps counter the Lycan, help counter these BKBs, but we haven't seen it.
Fnatic sitting on the low ground, smoked up, and Liquid will do the same. Fata's still very tanky and does a lot of damage. He's going to jump in Splitter. No, it's the Lightning Storm. He's actually been spike carry-pissed up. They're going to go to work on him. Fata will pop the BKB. The Infernal Blade comes out. Supernova on top of it all. Static Storm misses. Resolution, or excuse me, Mushi going to work with the right click will get the job done. Hiroki, he's going to go to get on by 3-4-3. He has the call coming. And he'll actually get chopped down. Tumbling Man gets a double kill. There's the Sunray onto Ohio get brought down as well. So 3 dead just like that. No buybacks on any of them. And what was going to be a smoke in favor of Fnatic actually turns into a smoke in favor of Liquid. They miss all of their abilities. They don't get anything. They're going to find more on Mushi. Swap out of the Splitter. The Magic Missile will come through as well. The Call Down will do some damage, but the wave of Terror on the Edict coming through, it's more than enough. And that is it. GG, just like that. Liquid will take the series 2-1. Fnatic, they just couldn't hold on in this game. They couldn't find the initiations, and Liquid get it done.
Really interesting game number 3. Liquid get truly tested, and we see both teams just kind of going with some unconventional lanes. The picks themselves, I don't think anything too crazy outside of the Leshtrek on Fata, which we haven't seen in a long time, but definitely the laning stage, seeing 3-4-3 go mid on Axe, Fata go towards the safe lane, but it just looked like Liquid the more composed team once it got down to those clutch situations. You can see here though, Fnatic, I mean, they don't feel like, looking at them there, that they're too beat down. They know that they're versing the favorite to win this tournament. They took them to 3 games. They had 3 close games. So I think Fnatic just got to look ahead to their lower bracket match.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're not out of this yet. They're not going to the lower bracket in the main event just yet. They have taken, like you said, Liquid to 3 games. They should feel pretty good, and we'll see how they do perform as we get into the next series. But before that, we'll throw it back to the panel.
Yes, thank you very much, Mort. Let's find out from our panel what they made of Game 3. Liquid coming out on top finally after a tough match with Fnatic. I think it'd be fair to say, gents, that they've had 2 tough matches today, Alliance and Fnatic, but in the end, the number 1 seed has come through the group in top place, and that's exactly what we expected to see, Charlie.
Yeah, definitely is. And you know what's interesting, what we talked about in the beginning was that if Liquid is ahead a game, they'll try something new.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. They'll turn it back on for Game 3. And I think in the very beginning of their formation, it's something that they couldn't have done. Something that they didn't have the mental strength to do, to come back after a loss, you know, just be able to give one up, you know? And I think it's a lot of credit to their coaching staff, Blitz Dota, for you know, keeping them focused to be able to do something like that.
Absolutely. I want to give some credit to Fnatic, though, Winter, because they've played well against the, you know, probably the best team on planet Earth right now, and they could take a lot of good things from the match that they've just played.
And I know we were talking about them not wanting to switch up their system, and this game, like, everyone was off their position.
Yeah.
Like, Midon was off lane, their support was going mid, Ohio was in the jungle.
Their off lane went position 4, their mid laner went carry. I don't know what they were thinking.
They tried to get an advantage out of the laning phase by placing, like, favorable matchups, like, depending on heroes.
I mean, I know they tried to mind game, like, with the players playing what hero. It's going to be jungle Axe, and maybe that's why they put Lycan middle and stuff, but if you're going to do something like that, I really think you should have your mechanically strongest players on, you know, the specific lanes. Like mid lane, safe lane, and off lane you should have your mechanically strongest players.
But I think Winter's point is that they've tried something here, and at least they've found some other things out. They probably found more out by losing this game than they would have done had they won it.
And they decided to change after they scouted the lanes as well, so you can't really get ready for that. You don't know how Liquid is going to lane, right? If you're Fnatic, so you just scout, oh, they're actually going to do this, so they are trying to adapt during the fly.
I mean, despite that, they still did, like, incredibly. Like, Ohio on the position 4 Doom, he was still like 4-0, he did work. Like, for me, he's like the clear MVP of Fnatic again. But unfortunately, they didn't win in the end.
Yeah, they aren't out of it just yet, and they're certainly not going to be out of the tournament. None of the teams are just, if you're joining us and you're thinking, oh, these teams are going to go home or something. No one goes home on day 2 of the group stages. We will all make through to the main event, of course, but we're looking for the second team now in Group C to join Liquid, who've gone through to the upper bracket. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights of this particular game, the third and final game of our series now, and find out exactly how Liquid made it through. Fnatic now get a second shot. We've got another game to come, of course, and they'll play the winners between Alliance and VGR, but I think they've done okay, Winter.
Yeah, they did above expectations. I think no one actually expected them to give Liquid such a hard series. Like, they could have won the series if Liquid didn't actually play well enough. So I think in their heads, they know that if they can actually give Liquid such a hard time, they would have a really good chance against Alliance or Vichy Rebound.
What surprised me the most is that we spoke about they're up 1-0, they're gonna, try something. They did, and they lost the game. But then we spoke about how they turn it on and play really serious, and they did too. And then they almost lost to Fnatic again. Like Fnatic really held their own, and I didn't expect that.
How do you think the hero picks worked out themselves? Not so much the roles, Winter, but the actual picks.
You mean for Fnatic?
Yeah.
I think the picks were okay. It was just like what Black mentioned. Maybe having the support player in the mid lane, he missed a lot of CS.
Yeah, he missed a lot of
in
CS.
a really good matchup. Even though they gave him a X versus Lycan, he was supposed to win.
They had
his
the same
lane.
CS.
Yeah,
And
that was not
can't
supposed to happen
yeah.
if you put your actual mid player in that matchup.
Yeah.
And something that, to go back to what Winter has been saying all along, is that Fnatic's heroes didn't scale. And Winter has said, that's very important. Drafting going forward into this tournament is that you have to be able to transition into the late game. And Fnatic, their really only late game heroes were the Doom and the Gyrocopter. And those Doom's great at countering a single hero, but Gyrocopter is also not the strongest late game hero.
Any strong candidates for the third game MVP whilst we're watching through the highlights?
Honestly,
Are we going with Matumba Man again, or? I mean, it's hard to say he hasn't had a good series, isn't it?
Yeah, he did the most again.
I mean, like he played against an Axe again, just like against a Tidehunter. He's top 1 net worth again. At the end, he was like beyond godlike.
Yeah, again.
Again? You see it more often than not. You can't stop that guy right now.
Yeah.
Like he's taken some builder bars or something from that stock there.
Yeah, that 20G of protein's really helping him out. Charlie, you pointed him out at the very beginning of the series, in the first series that we had of the day, and here we are after the second series. He really is becoming a star, isn't he?
Yeah,
in his own right.
That's what Liquid wants. They want you to be afraid of him. They want you to start banning out the Lycan. Imagine if teams start banning out that Lycan first phase. That opens up the draft so much for the rest of the heroes that Liquid wants. Opens up Beastmasters. It opens up, potential Wisp picks as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were looking through some of the win rates. Even though we've seen one loss now on the Lycan, it's now got a 90% win rate. The DP also has a win rate of 90% as well. So it's becoming a bit harder, and it's great when this happens, Charlie, isn't it? Because the teams look at your win rates and they see that you're playing really well on particular heroes that they start to ban, and then eventually you get to the point where you just can't ban them all anymore.
Yeah, there's so many things that you have to worry about. Wisp, Doom, Lycan, Beastmaster, Earth Spirit.
I was going to say, even Ursa, they're 100% record on that in the last few weeks. 6 out of 6 with that as well. So you throw that one in there. They've got so many different options.
Hey,
right
turns out when you win a lot, it's really hard to deal with you.
Yeah, absolutely. MVP confirmed as Matumba Man once more. Not a surprise.
What this Team Liquid reminds me of, though, is the TI3 Alliance. They always played the same style with all the heroes they drafted, but the enemy team did not have enough bans to ban out a player. They all had amazing heroes, and they just couldn't get enough bans, and in the end they always ended up winning with different heroes. Very high win rates as well, and I don't know, this Team Liquid is just amazing. They're performing, and they're performing really well.
All right, well, thank you very much to all three of you. We're headed for a break right now, but of course our next match is not too far away, and we do have an interview with Kuroki before we get there. Enjoy with Sir Action Slacks.
Okay, hey everybody, I am here with Kuro. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
All right, pretty good. You just eliminated a team, you're moving on, and it's some very exciting stuff going on for you. Got a few questions for you, though, before we continue. Now, I've met your teammates. They're good guys. After getting to watch them, interview them, learn a little bit about them, I've learned that they are actually insane. Actually insane people. So how do you control them and make them do what you want them to do in-game?
Honestly, that's one of the hardest struggles we're actually facing.
Really?
Yeah. Like, if we get together, I think we're really good. At the end of the day, my teammates are really humble. Sometimes not, sometimes they are. If they are, we get shit done. I also have coaches who help me to keep everything on track. So, works out for now.
Yeah, well, that's one of your jobs as captain, and you sure are doing it. You guys are seeing a lot of success. Now, speaking about you being a captain, you have all this knowledge about Dota, players, teams. So I'm interested in what's one team that you don't know a lot about here at Manila? Who's the big mystery for Team Liquid?
Well, ironically, Fnatic is one of the teams that I didn't know much about. It's the first time we've played them with the current iteration of our team, and it's pretty much Fnatic and VGR. They just both ended up in our group, so you know.
Yeah, well, there's no better way to learn about somebody than to face off against them, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, all right. Now, this is a personal question that I've heard from some people. I want you to tell me about this desire, this personal desire that you have to become a garbage man. Can you talk to me about that?
The Dota life is hard sometimes, you know. Like, I come here, try to do my best. Sometimes you just want to quit life and become garbage man.
Why is that? Why do you want to become a garbage man?
Why not?
I mean, yeah, you're doing a service, you're cleaning things up, it's very organized, right?
You're useful to society. It's actually a hard job, you know.
Well, you definitely took out the trash with the last team, so well done on that. I'm sorry. That wasn't even what you were going for. I'm sorry. All right, well, last one for you. Now, I know that, like, Mind Control, he's a very happy guy, always smiling. You know, Jerax, he's always chilled out. Matumba is whatever Matumba is. But you're always calm. You're focused. You're collected. And I never get the hype from you, so I'm going to try something with you here. I'm going to try to hype you up, buddy. Team Liquid coming into the major. You're moving on up. It could be you in the finals. The people want to know. I want to know. Kuro, are you going to win the Manila Major?
I don't know. I hope so.
All right, that's as hype as we're going to get. Thank you so much, man. And we're back to you guys over at the break in a little bit. Break for now. Thanks a lot for watching.